Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV, where, as you can see, we are once again joined by the one, the only, Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, thanks for coming in again.
Well, thank you for having me back. We could really simplify things by using a 646. And all that's happened here is we've got a 646 inflated to the front with a apple twist in it.
Okay.
And that's all it is. Do you want me to demonstrate that? Or?
Why not?
Yes, we. Okay. And what I'm going to do is reverse inflate, which we've done
We have done a BMTV. Was it a Balloon Basics on that one?
It is indeed, yes. Let some air out. So then we want roughly twist him to there. I'll just use a bit of white here. Tie him off a second. Now, I'm just going to tie him off there. I could let that down and make an apple twist, which is what I've done there.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh,
there's a bit of sand on there from earlier, wasn't there? Right. And there we are, we got the 646 again. Now, we could tie an attachment there to create some fire coming out of it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it simple today. So, what I'm going to do is hold on to the knot here, push in, hold it with my fingers, grab the other end. I'm making this one slightly bigger than the previous one. We've moved that out of the way so we've got a bit more room. And all I'm doing is twisting around and then cut this off and tie a knot in it.
I think the apple twist has got to be my favourite twist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's cool though. It can do so much with it.
Yeah.
And there we are, cut that off. Tie in there. And then I can get rid of these bits or keep them on there as an attachment. And then just pull these two tightly together like so. Tie. And then what I'll do, I'll show you quickly with one of these. I always give these a little bit of a stretch like that to keep the inflation consistent.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go umpy bumpy.
Okay.
And then what we can do here, to keep it simplified, we put a twist in there, create a pinch twist, like we did earlier. Wrap it round and make it slightly shorter than the front piece. So you've got that there. Can you see? There we go. And tie it in. And put another pinch twist in there, like so.
So again, this is just adding more detail.
Adding more detail, yeah. And this is the simplified version of it.
I bet you can just keep going and going and going, can't you?
Well, I love to be creative anyway, as you know.
Yeah.
It's my favourite thing, playing with the 260 cubes. So we got that roughly there. So we need to measure, so with it, when he's got the backpack, that's going to fit.
Okay.
So that will go there. Twist in here and just repeat what we've just done. And this is without, whoops, this is with the same balloon that we used earlier on. So we're not wasting anything.
Yeah. You were saying earlier you recycle balloons for your window displays.
That's right, yes. The foil balloons, and sometimes we can recycle some of the latex balloons as well.
How do you recycle latex balloons?
Ah, that's the magic. We can talk about that another time.
Okay, maybe we should do that. Yeah. Oh, he's a tease, isn't he?
Always keep something for later, isn't it? There we are. So now we have a simplified backpack, and all we do then is just attach it here, and add an attachment there and there.
Yeah.
And then you put it the right way around, obviously.
Of course.
And then we can add some detail with some vinyl.
Yeah. Or you can do the old-fashioned.
Or the old-fashioned pen.
Yeah.
So that's a simplified version of it. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of a 160Q.
Okay.
That I've taken the air out of.
Put that over there.
And I'm just going to attach this to one of the points to create a good attachment point. And similarly to how we bind the deco bubbles to seal those, I'm just going to bind this around the end.
Okay. I've seen that technique you're using. Fundamentals, I've seen that.
You've probably done more fundamentals than anybody else.
It was funny when you said that the other day. it's probably true. Apart from the people that have been doing the training, of
possibly,
course.
yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to tie that off with a normal double knot. The knot at the end, again, doesn't have to be particularly tight, but we've now got a really good connection point at the end of which we can tie our balloon off to.
So that's unlikely to damage the balloon. That's not going to...
It's unlikely to. You still got to be careful because you're working on a balloon that's inflated and having an awareness of what you do, not overworking this is important.
Okay.
But to be honest, I've never broke a Qualitex balloon doing this at all. And then I'm just going to tie double stuff 4.5 inch on. Yeah. So that's that on the tent, but you can see lots of mechanics there.
Yeah. But what colours are they then? You said you double stuffed them.
I'll show you, shall I?
Yeah.
So I've just got to inflate one of these citrine yellow 5-inch balloons.
Okay.
No need for that. I'm going to use the premium twin air sizer.
Oh,
so we just
not competition.
So by pre-stretching it, that's just going to give me a little bit of room to put the 7-inch inside.
Okay.
And I'm going to use 7-inch chrome and fold that up and put that inside.
Can I ask why 7-inch? Because
You know
I've never heard of a Qualitex, well, there's not been a Qualitex 7-inch balloon before, has there?
Not that I know to. So I'm sure there has been in testing, and I think this is one of the. I didn't work on this, so there's no insider knowledge of exactly what it is. I've thought about the question quite a lot myself, and actually there's a lot of good reasons why we would do that.
Okay.
First and foremost is to get an absolutely perfect colour match with the 11-inch and the 260s.
Yeah.
It's really important that we do that, and obviously having a balloon that's the same thickness in material helps us to do that. As I said before, we've still got this area of mechanics that I'd like to cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to inflate our 260Q. Let a little bit of air out so I'm working with a nice soft balloon. And then I'm going to cover this as we've done with the other one. So one of the ways of making sure that I get a nice round shape is just to work the balloon by rolling it along, and you end up with a natural curve. So we'll drop that natural curve round and measure to where I need to make my twist, which is about there.
Yep.
Make one twist.
Do you like using the 260Q chrome?
More than I do normal. I find it a lot easier to do. I'm no entertainer, I'm no twister.
But why is it easier?
I think it's there's less friction on the outside of the balloon.
All right, okay.
So when you're twisting, and I don't know whether you heard the sound. There's none of that screeching sound where you get friction.
Yeah.
It's really nice to use. I mean, I spent luckily enough to spend a little bit of time with Bob at the fundamentals we did.
He's a big fan, isn't he, of the chrome 260s?
Yeah, a very big fan. So I've just wrapped the knot round, and I'm going to remove the excess. And the reason I've wrapped the knot round is I can remove the excess and be confident there's enough friction there that it's not going to go down.
Okay.
Create my knot.
Still looks a bit loose though, around the join there.
Everybody's a critic.
I'm just saying, I'm not being critical.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a pinch twist now.
Oh, so you've got a solution for that?
I have.
Didn't see that coming at all, Mark.
There you go. And that way, if we turn that over now, you can now see that that's a nice seamless finish. And we've got this lovely tonal effect on colours.
So if you wanted to, you could double stuff the 260Q and get the same effect as that one.
You could do. Yeah, you could double stuff the 260Q and get exactly the same colour, and that does work, and that's fine. But I wanted 3 colours because there's no perfect match on the colours. I thought it'd be really nice to do 3 colours.
Just add in then a few small balloons to get the tropical colours in. These are all fashion tone, because I think for this particular theme, the tropical theme, the fashion tone works better. It's quite interesting, you know, sometimes I get asked why there are so many different finishes of balloon. You know, we've got the metallics, we've got the satins, we've got the fashions, we've got the crystals. Why are there so many? Why are there 5 different reds? And until you actually do something like this, you perhaps wouldn't realise, but the fashion tone raspberry, lime and yellow looks much more fruity than the metallics do.
All right, okay.
And so it's just the visual texture of the thing is actually quite important.
I guess that's the sort of thing you'd normally get from experience. So just trying different colours and seeing what works for whatever situation.
And I well remember quite some time ago doing a 1950s party and using pearl pink and pearl sort of mint green and all of those colours, and it was fine. But then I did it again a little while later, and I used the fashion tones, and it was 10 times better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just the density and the texture of the thing, and it is important. It really is important that some of these things just have that.
So what is
right texture?
The fashion tone?
It's shiny, but not metallic.
Okay.
So you've got your crystals, which are transparent.
Yeah.
You've got your fashions, which are opaque, but just sort of shiny, and then you've got your metallics and satins that are opaque, but have that metallic finish to them as well. So you've got the 3.
So your standard balloons.
That's what the fashion is.
Fashion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the term that is used by that particular manufacturer.
Yeah.
So Sempertex call their standard balloons fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's how that works. So then I'm just putting in a few white roses here and there, just to give it a little bit more of a floral feel, a little bit more of a organic look.
We're finding that people are really. We're selling a lot more of the flowers now than we did to start with. People are really, and yesterday at training, a couple of florists there, and talking to them, and they are now combining balloons with their flowers, so going the other way.
This is something that I'm really enjoying, because I've been doing training on and off for a very long time, and the hardest thing for years and years and years was getting florists to come on board with balloons.
Yeah.
And I kind of understood it, being a florist myself originally, but it was very frustrating because I took the plunge and I realised quite early on the enormous benefits of combining the two together.
Yeah.
And I was trying very hard to get other florists to realise the same. And there was a lot of resistance for a very long time. Yeah. But I think that resistance is finally breaking.
Well, I think the whole organic theme is helping as well.
That's definitely helped. Yes.
But I guess it was the same with twisters, wasn't it? For years, twisters would not use any round balloon at all, and decorators wouldn't never use
the long ones.
Yeah, the long ones. So.
And now it is. It's all coming together really nicely. I'm going to more or less do. I think we'll have one more there.
So you're just using your creative eye
I
to
am.
decide what goes.
I'm basically making it up as I go along.
Don't tell people that.
Sorry.
That's skill. Is that what we learned yesterday on the organics course?
Yeah.
So everybody stands up. You stand up in front of everybody and just say, "I'm making it up as I go."
Make it up as I go along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the case, everybody. That's not really what happened.
No, well, it isn't. It isn't. You do when you get to the point where you are really familiar with the product and all the rest of it and the style that you're after. Then yes, you do.
Yeah.
Make it up as you go along, but you also know what you're aiming for and how to achieve it. So it's not quite so random as it may seem.
I think that's the key thing that people learn in the organics course, is that it looks random, but it's not.
But it's not
as random.
No,
there is a secret.
there is definitely. There are yes, many secrets really from that. Yeah, if you just literally went, it really doesn't look very good if you just stick to the random approach.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. So you've got to have at least some kind of plan somewhere. So there we go.
I didn't show you the feedback forms yet for yesterday's training. Huh. Lots of people saying best training course ever been on.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I know.
That's good. Thank
Somebody
you.
even mentioned the sausage rolls, which of course
Those,
should be.
That's what it's the only reason I come, Greg. It's just only for the
Stop
sausage
saying
rolls. There we are.
Let's make these cute little air-filled leaves. How do we do it?
So basically we've got a V-shape heat seal in a 9-inch or a 6-inch, a 4-inch star.
So these are just the stars, the normal Qualitex.
Normal Qualitex, and if we just fold that down like so, put the valve towards the end of our heat sealer, drop that through, and just randomly at an angle give ourselves a seal. You end up with a V. Really important that at the base of the V that you actually get a point, and that's why we folded the balloon first, because I don't want any inflation in that centre part. And I was aiming for the simplest style maple leaf I could get.
That went wrong.
It went wrong. Yeah.
Let's do another one.
That's me. When you use it's a great point actually. When you use a heat sealer, it's really important when you've been using it a lot and you got it to the temperature that you want and set to 2, that if you leave it to go cold again, that you give it a few presses so that you get the temperature back to where it was going.
Okay.
So I'm really pleased that happened. So that's a good tip
This
for
is
everyone.
if you intentionally wanted it to happen.
Oh, you see, there you go. And in we go. Just nice and quickly in. Drop the heat seal down. And you can see now, because I've used it, you'll see that the heat transfer is a lot greater. And then we just inflate that through.
There you go.
And then seal that off again at the neck.
So you need a heat sealer anyway for these balloons, so it'd be so easy for you to then just do that.
Yeah. And that's our standard little leaf pattern.
Yeah.
And we've also got
snowflakes.
Snowflakes. So for the snowflake one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to
turn the dial up or down?
I've turned it up slightly.
Okay.
So I'm just going to aim for the centre of the balloon, and then I'm going to follow that same style round, but leaving a gap in the middle.
Okay. So you're not going exactly to where it ended on the other way. So you're just going down from the widest bits.
Down from the point.
The points.
It might be difficult to see with the white one actually, but hopefully you'll see this, that I'm not going all the way into the centre, because I need that air to flow round once I've done it.
So what are the benefits of having a heat sealer, other than obviously heat sealing the balloons that don't have valves in? What else can you do?
Well, they're designed as bag sealers originally.
Yeah.
But you can, if you've, I remember years ago when I used to use the very first numbers, and you always used to get where they had an acute point like a V or something. You used to really worry that you might get a failure.
Yeah.
And keeping a heat sealer on the seam just to reseal was a handy tip.
So if you do accidentally do something to a balloon, or it does break in some way, you can use a heat sealer to, in an emergency, seal it up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a star.
Cool. Love it.
Very, very easy to do. And then all I've done is to attach them to the thing. Is I've actually knotted these together in a clump with a single knot, pulled the knot tight, and then I've used some balloon bond to then attach to to the aluminium line.
So they're just the 9-inch and the smaller 4-inch ones.
Yeah.
And just randomly, and I suppose it doesn't really matter if you do it a little bit wrong, because it's just a different kind of shape.
Yeah, and no two snowflakes are the same.
That's true. True.
But also leaves. I think having this bit in between enables you to move it round and actually form it into something different in the design. It creates a bit of rhythm and makes it look moving. And I'm always, with airfield designs, I'm always saying movement is the most important thing, because everybody thinks of a balloon as a helium balloon that's bobbing around. Yeah. So having something that moves, I think, is pretty important.
That's another point. We didn't talk about it too much, but this is all airfield. I know you mentioned it was airfield. So obviously, in the situation at the moment, airfield is fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is a metallic fuchsia 260. And I'm just going to turn it into a bow. So tie it off, and then I'm going to twist, make a loop, that was a good guess. I'm not a twister.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
When they work like that, I planned it like that, obviously. That was a fluke, but it worked out just the way I wanted it to.
That's perfect.
Which is nice. I'm going to give it a black centre with a 5-inch metallic black. Just a little one.
There is something so magical. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Something so magical about Disney, isn't there? Disney designs. We went to Disneyland in Paris. When was it? Earlier last year, 2019. And it's such a magical experience.
Yes,
really
it
lovely.
is. I mean, I haven't been for a very long time, but yeah, I'd love to go back again.
Yeah, it's really nice now.
I've never been to the Paris one.
I've been to the Paris one. I've been to the LA and the Florida ones as well. Florida, you need, I think, at least 2 weeks to do it properly. I've been there. I was 21 when I went to that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my son, who is now 27, and has recently presented me with a granddaughter, I took him there when he was 3. So that was the last time I went. It was long time. Yeah. And it was massive then, so it didn't work that time.
I know.
Oh dear.
It's gone wrong.
I didn't blow it up enough, did I? Don't mind.
What are you going to do then?
Well, I could start again, but I'm not going to start again. And then I've got another one here, so I'll just add a tail to it.
Oh, you could cut that and inflate that bit.
You know what? That's a brilliant idea. Let's do it that way around. Why didn't I think of that?
This is where you fail miserably because it's really hard to do.
Probably.
Oh no!
Now I've got it in there. Whether it will inflate the right way.
I'll see.
Oh yeah, look at that. Ha!
Look at that, eh?
Thank you, Greg.
I've learned something.
5 years. I've learned something.
5 years at BMTV and I've learned something. I've taught Chris Horne something.
I wouldn't have thought of doing that.
I'm so excited.
Well, what do you know?
I can't remember who that was. It could have been Mark or Rob Driscoll or Dr. Bob. I can't remember.
Doesn't matter. Whoever it was, thank you very much. That solved that little issue amazingly well. Right, so we've got all the components now.
Quite chuffed about that.
Yeah, I should be. That was cool. I think I put my stretchy balloon tape down again somewhere. Keep putting it down and losing it.
I'll get it again.
You'll get it for me. Making a habit of this. Thank you very much.
I know. Well, you did exactly the same the last time.
I know.
Funny.
I know.
How much do you need?
Oh, I don't know yet. Probably about 1 inch. But right. So 2 bows. I've got an assortment of clusters. This one is the Sempertex metallic black to 9 inches.
Yeah.
This one is the metallic fuchsia to 6 inches. This one is the reflex pink to 4.5 inches. And we're going to stack all of those. It's ever so simple.
It is lovely.
But because of the sort of upgrading of the numbers and the ombres and everything, it suddenly becomes it's relevant again. Yeah. These have been around, the numbers with the heads on, been around forever.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has a whole different look with the different textured latex and everything else. So I just thought it would be nice to put them together and show you how it goes.
Chris, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing. See you next week. Bye.